We welcome you into today's broadcast. Austin Gregory here with Josh Mechanic and Sammy Holiday once again, and it's the second road game of the season as the Oaks visit the San Luis Obispo Blues, and it's going to be a fun one tonight, Josh.
Yeah, the Blues have played 13 games compared to just 5 for the Oaks, but they've each played the same number of league games, and the Oaks are 3-1 in those games, having won 3 in a row and trying to continue that win streak here tonight.
Yeah, the Oaks 3-1 is the best record in the CCL South right now. Puts them at the top of the CCL South, which is a good start for them. And they look to continue to stay hot. It was a comeback win on Wednesday, and it was a big one for them as they clawed their way back after a slow start. But it was a big win to rally the troops and to keep the win streak going against the OC Riptide. And as Wednesday's player of the game, Zach Duday, told me post-game, Tokes is what they're calling themselves, and the Tokes are hot. The starting lineup for the Oaks today is once again in center field, Austin Carrillo. He'll return to the starting lineup after coming in defensively on Wednesday. And as we know, he loves to lead off this season. His 4 games leading off, double, double, single, double in his 4 at-bats to start off a ball game. Gavin Grant out of Oregon will be the shortstop batting second. Brendan Durfee makes his return to the lineup, the catcher out of Cal Lutheran. He'll be batting third. AJ Salgado back in the lineup as well. Won't be getting to watch his defensive works because he'll just be designated hitting today in the cleanup spot. Zach Duday, Wednesday's player of the game. He'll be in the lineup playing second base tonight. Carliner returns to the lineup playing first base. Josiah Chavez keeps his place in left field in the starting lineup. Scott Radinsky gets his first start of the season out in right field, taking over for Tyler Glowacki, who started in all 5 games in right field before tonight. And rounding out the lineup is Charles Messino, who will be playing third base tonight. He's got a player of the game nod himself this season as well. And tonight, the pitcher for the host Blues is going to be Chase Dabbs. And what do we have to expect from Dabbs tonight, Josh?
Well, Dabbs is making his 3rd start this summer. He's just thrown in 9 innings, given up 9 runs in those 9 innings, but only 2 of them have been earned in those 9 innings. We've also seen Dabbs surrender 5 walks. So he does tend to wander a bit away from the strike zone, but struck out 11 batters in those 9 innings. If he stays around the zone, he's difficult to hit.
So Carrillo with a little half bunt, but he'll pull back and look at ball 1. This will be the first of back-to-back road games for the Oaks tomorrow. The team will be traveling back to Santa Barbara. Carrillo squares. He gets the bunt down in fair territory. And they'll retire him. Nice play there by Chase Dabbs to end the consecutive streak of getting on base to start the game for Austin Carrillo as he tries to lay one down. We've seen that a couple times from the Oaks now, trying to get a bunt to lead off the game, as Tyler Gannis did that as leadoff hitter on Wednesday, but this now brings Gavin Grant to the box.
Yeah, Carrillo's been hot at the plate, trying to shake things up, show that he can do it all. It was an okay bunt, but just not farther enough away from the pitcher. And it was an excellent toss there from Dabbs to retire Carrillo.
As Grant shoots that one out to deep center field. That one's settled under by out there by Jake Simons.
That's a couple days in a row that we've seen Gavin Grant really get a hold of one and then just see the ball die out there in front of the track in center field. It's almost the exact same swing as we saw the other day from Grant, where he flew out to center field.
So Brendan Durfee back in the lineup. The first time he's played since Sunday against the Saints. In that game, he ended up having a couple RBIs, one via the sac fly, one via a single, and he came around to score once. So look at strike 1. Durfee, of course, started things off this summer with an exclamation point as he was the first run to come across the plate for the Oaks via the home run as he crushed one over the right center field fence at home. He'll duck out of the way of that one.
Yeah, Durfee finds himself back in the starting lineup where I think we'll see him as a mainstay. That Grant fly ball makes sense that it died. We didn't see too many balls go flying out of the yard here today during BP, there were only a few that we actually saw leave the yard.
That one gets away. Ball one, as that one will sneak under the glove of Chase Gallegos, the catcher today for the Blues. We'll get you through the entire Blues lineup when they come to bat in the bottom half of this inning. Dabbs delivers. And Durfee looks at strike two, count now even at 2.
For Durfee, he hasn't seen live pitching in a few days. Just trying to get his feet underneath him. Stay short with the swing, especially with 2 strikes.
No swing and miss. So 1, 2, 3. The Oaks go down to start this one off. And it'll take us to the bottom half of the first, where Garrett Clark's going to be on the mound for the second time this season for the Oaks, the right-handed pitcher out of Thousand Oaks, California, via Thousand Oaks High School, then College of Southern Nevada, and now he's a mainstay. Normally this season out of the bullpen for the University of Southern California Trojans. One start he had this past spring with them, but he gets his second start of the season and 2 appearances for the Oaks. And Clark had a so-so outing, as I'm sure he would describe it, in his first game of the season, which came last Friday, and the opener of CCL play for the Oaks when they visited the Santa Barbara Foresters, and what was a really weird one. But Clark ended up going 2 full innings where he gave up 5 hits, walked 1, gave up 2 runs, with 1 strikeout, and that's all we saw out of him. As we've seen this season, the Oaks starters haven't really been getting much distance. We saw Waitman go 5 on Wednesday, Rivas go 4, and so we're waiting for a guy to go a little bit more than, you know, the distance to try and secure the official win. But Clark looks to have a good one today as he gets his second start on the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Clark to have too long of a leash. Like you said, Austin, not seeing any Oaks starting pitcher go past the 5th inning, even with efficiency like Alexander Rivas showed the other night. But for Clark, in his first outing, although he got hit around just a little bit, he didn't walk any hitters, which is a great sign for your summer debut. And if he can come out with that kind of strike throwing today, this Blues lineup is not as threatening or as deep as the Foresters lineup, so we'll see if he can find some success today.
Yeah, and for the Foresters, leading things off is the center fielder Jake Simons, who's played a lot already this year in 9 of the 13 games for the Blues, and in those 9 he's hitting just below 400 at 387. Darius Price, the second baseman, he'll be batting second. Colin Villegas, he'll be batting third. It'll be his first game of the summer. Zach Tolia will be starting in 14 out of 14 games now, the first baseman. Clark delivers pitch number 1, and that hits Simons.
Well, we just preached on Garrett Clark's control in the first game, and first pitch he throws, he hits the first batter he sees.
That's the 12th time now this season that Simons has already been hit, so 12 times in 10 games already for him. I've seen a few pitchers hit batters for the Oaks out of the bullpen this year. I haven't seen starters really hit guys, so now Price steps in. He'll foul that one off to the right side.
It's a good job from Clark, coming back after hitting the first batter with the first pitch strike. That's always something mentally when you hit a guy like that just in your first pitch, but nice job of staying composed and throwing a strike.
Just the second game of the summer for Price. Recently arrived to the squad as he'll look at strike number 2 on the outside part of the plate. This fastball there from Clark.
Price went 1 for 3 with a double in his lone start. Also had a couple RBIs, but he was on base 3 times, which explains why he's got the nod in the 2 spot.
0-2 count now. Clark delivers, and he'll get a swing and a miss there. So good job bouncing back there by Clark after hitting Simons the first pitch of his outing, and then he gets a 3-pitch strikeout to the next batter, and Darius Price.
Yeah, that was an excellent at-bat there from Clark, and then retiring Price with that changeup, it looked like, from back here. Definitely an off-speed pitch that just disappeared away from the bat of Price.
One of the local collegiate guys at a Cal Poly SLO is Colin Villegas, who steps in now. So he'll look at strike one. This is his first game of the summer with the Blues. That one's fouled back, heads up.
Villegas, one of multiple talented catchers on this Blues roster, which is why he gets the nod at DH today.
Simons, a threat to run, 8 bags this year. That one will be ruled a no pitch as time was called. Oh, 2 still the count to Villegas. That one swung on a miss. So great job by Clark bouncing back here. Hits the first batter with the first pitch of his outing, and then the next 2 strikes him out on 6 pitches.
Yeah, that's a great job from Clark. Like you said, you take away the first batter, he's gotten 2 strikeouts on 6 pitches here to begin his outing. Then a nice job of settling down after that first pitch.
So Zach Tolia steps in now. As mentioned, he's played in every single game this summer. 340 the average in the 13 games before this one. This is the first ball from Clark since the hit by pitch.
Tolia is the only member of this lineup, of this roster, that has appeared in every game this season, which is no surprise to see him atop the lead in home runs for the Blues with 3 on the season, as well as the only double-digit RBI member with 14.
Runner goes. Durfee throws down. He got him. So good job there to note for Brendan Durfee, who had his struggles in his last start with a couple pitchers who don't have the quickest delivery, but Clark with a good delivery there gets a great throw down from Durfee over to today's second baseman, Zach Duda, who applies the tag, and so no damage done after the hit by pitch as side goes down 1-2-3 unconventionally, and we'll be back for the top of the second.
We're back here now for the second inning. After a pretty relatively quick first inning for both pitchers. For Chase Dabbs, it was a quick 1-2-3 inning that included a strikeout of Brendan Durfee and he'll now face the designated hitter AJ Salgado, who takes a first pitch ball.
Salgado back in the lineup after getting a day off on Wednesday, and he's had a very, very good start to this summer for the Oaks.
Salgado takes a pitch off the outside of the plate. It's ahead in the count now, 2-0. Wednesday's game was the first one this season that we didn't see AJ Salgado appear.
Yeah, in his 4 games, he's been impressive.
Yeah, he sure has, offensively and defensively, as he takes a strike.
Yeah, batting .429 and his 14 at-bats in 4 games, and the glove is incredible over there at third, but they'll just use his stick today.
As Salgado hits one right back to Dabbs on the mound, who runs it over to first and tosses it over there for out number 1.
Yeah, and that play was harder than it should have been because Dabbs got a little proud of himself after snagging that one. He thought he was going to be able to jog over, but we don't see a lack of effort from AJ Salgado ever, as he was sprinting down the line and almost beat that one out.
Yeah, Dabbs was forced to almost race Salgado over there at first base. Like Austin said, not sure if he just thought he had more time or if it was like a John Lester situation where he couldn't throw over, as Duday takes a strike.
Zach Duday, as we mentioned, coming off a player of the game nod, where we saw him go 3 for 3 with also a walk in his 4 plate appearances on Wednesday, a double RBI in there as well.
Yeah, for Duday, it's been a great start to the season. He struggled a little bit defensively in his first start, but since then he's bounced back with the glove and with the bat, as he's hitting over 400 on the young season, as that one misses outside.
Yeah, and we could tell for Duday, who I think had 2, maybe 3 errors on opening day against the Coastal Dodgers, that there was something a little off about him, but talking with him Wednesday, he's bounced back and just had to shake that one off.
As he grounds that one softly to first, it's going to be a tough play over there, and it's dropped by Dabbs at first base. That's going to go down as an E1 most likely, as Duday reaches on the air.
Yeah, and that was kind of just a tough play in general. A large hop, tough play for Tolia going to his backhand and throwing off balance there. Had to wait for Dabbs to get over to the bag and just threw it away a little bit. But Dabbs just dropped that one off as it goes off the top of his glove. But Duday will be the first base runner of the day for the Oaks.
Which brings him Noah Carliner. Carliner swings through the first pitch he sees. He got the start on Tuesday, where he struggled mightily at the plate, striking out a few times before being removed from the game. They're hoping that he could bounce back in today's game. And that one misses just in for a ball. Counts 1-1 on Carliner.
Yeah, and as all of us were starting to get stir crazy towards the end of the bus ride here, no, Carliner did a good job of entertaining the masses. That's for sure.
Yeah, he sure did. Carliner heard the whole bus in hysterics on the ride over as he swings through another.
He was just getting a little too warm on the bus, he was saying, trying to find a way to cool off.
3-hour bus ride gets hot. Carliner's had some trouble catching up to that fastball, as he's got hundreds of people yelling hot sauce at him right now.
Dabbs will check on Duday. Duday 0 for 1 in his 1 stolen base attempt.
Dabbs threw just 8 pitches in the first inning. He hits Carliner. It looked like it got the bat off the knob of the bat, maybe. It's going to be a foul tip. Carliner's shaking his left hand. So that's a lose-lose, I guess, for Noah Carliner. Stings his hand, and yet he still has to stay up there. Here's the 1-2. That one misses outside.
Yeah, and obviously it's a good sign that no one from the coaching staff had to come out to check on Carliner, but something to watch is that one seemed they got a piece of him on his glove hand, and with him playing first base today, it's something to watch.
And he takes a 2-2 pitch inside, works the count full now. Good sign for Carliner taking these pitches. Let's see if he can win the at-bat. He's 2 for 9 on the young season, but each of those 7 outs has been a strikeout. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Carliner takes ball 4.
Great at-bat there from Noah Carliner, as those 2 tardy swings and misses on fastballs that put him behind in the count, and he works his way back, fights through that one that goes off his hand and the knob of the bat that's ruled a foul ball, and then he does a good job, plate discipline to work a walk, and now the Oaks got 2 on with only 1 out.
And Josiah Chavez stepping in. Chavez got the start in Wednesday's contest. He reached base on a walk, also lined out and flew out. Had a couple of really nice swings in which he got robbed on. Chavez takes the ball down in the dirt. For Chavez, he got a hold of one to center on Wednesday that was caught on the run out there. And then he also ripped a one-hopper to short, where shortstop Chase Valentine of the Riptide made a spectacular pick to throw Chavez out at first. 0 for 6 on the season thus far with a couple of walks for Chavez. Looking for his first Oaks hit of the summer. As that one's in there for a strike.
You know, we've seen Chavez a couple times this summer, but still looking for that first hit, but it's been solid defensively and disciplined at the plate.
Yeah, we've seen just good contact, just unlucky, as he's behind in the count now, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That breaking ball from Dabbs has been really nice against left-handers, especially as he gets the swing and miss of Chavez. Now Scott Radinsky making his first start of the summer. He's up in a spot with 2 men on and 2 away, looking at driving the Oaks' first run of the ball game. He takes a pitch, strike on the outside. Looked like it might have been a couple inches off the plate, but Dabbs gets the call.
Yeah, good to see Radinsky getting his first start of the summer. Obviously his dad, the pitching coach for the Oaks.
Yeah, the Radinsky family is in the Oaks program with both father and son on the team this summer. As Radinsky takes the ball, almost the same spot as that first pitch, but this one a little bit more off. After an 8-pitch first inning for Chase Dabbs, he's already thrown 20 pitches here in the second inning. And Radinsky takes a breaking ball in the dirt. Two and one the count now to Scott Radinsky. Radinsky swings and misses. 2-2 now the count. The deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on.
Inning number 2.
Here's the 2-2 to Scott Radinsky. He swings and misses for a strikeout. That's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Chase Dabbs as he gets out of the first and second threat with nothing going. We head to the bottom of the second inning, no score. back now for the bottom of the second inning after the Oaks stranded a pair in the top half. Garrett Clark is back out there after an 8-pitch first inning where he hit the first batter, got a couple of 3-pitch strikeouts, and then saw Brendan Durfee nab a runner stealing at second base. As Austin alluded to, Durfee had gotten unlucky a couple of times and had seen guys steal bases on him where he really had no shot, so it was good to see him get a fair opportunity and hose a guy. As that one's skied into shallow right field, Radinsky on the run makes the catch for the first out. Good job from Garrett Clark getting in on the hands of Zach Tolia as he gets jammed and flies one to shallow right. Which brings up Chase Gallegos, who's starting behind the dish today for the Blues. He takes a first pitch strike from Clark.
And Clark's done a good job bouncing back since that first pitch hit by pitch.
And that one's grounded foul. Bodying it up is the third base coach and keeping it in front. It's textbook. That's fundamentals. That's exactly what you teach your kids.
Yeah, usually you see third base coaches try to make an effort with just their normal hand, and
just a little Olay usually, yeah.
But this time he just bodied that one up.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one misses outside. For Gallegos, it's been a pretty productive start to the summer, hitting just below 300. And he hits that one to left, right at Josiah Chavez, who makes the play for out number 2.
Yeah, Chavez just settled under that one. Looked like it could have been a little bit more damaging off the bat with how quickly that one came off the bat of Gallegos, but easily settled under there is Josiah Chavez.
Which brings up Tate Samuelson.
Samuelson, one of a few guys who's been with the Blues for a few summers now.
And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
It's going to be Samuelson's first game this summer.
Samuelson's a
with
senior,
the Blues.
slow. And he swings and misses. We actually just heard that Samuelson is the only graduate on this roster for the Blues, starting at third base for them. And Clark spots that one just off the outside corner. That's a really nice 0-2 pitch.
I just missed on that one, but good location there from Clark.
As that one just misses.
It seems Clark's been liking the feel of his fastball to start this game.
Yeah, he's living on that outside corner, whether it's catching it or just missing, but he's doing a nice job of not leaving that fastball in the heart of the zone. And he gets that outside corner again as it's skied into shallow right. Radinsky will make the play. It's a 1-2-3 inning now for Garrett Clark. Clark just at 20 pitches through a couple of efficient innings. We headed the third inning, still scoreless.
We'll welcome you back now for top of the third. It'll be Charles Messino in the 9 spot to start things off here. I'll take us back to the top of the order with Carrillo and Grant as the ball game remains tied at 0s to start things off. Messino from Pepperdine playing third base today. He'll look at ball 1.
It's the first time we've seen Messino starting on the infield this summer. We've seen him in left, so it's nice to show off the versatility and give AJ Salgado a break.
That one will get the plate for strike 1. This is the 5th game of the season Messino's played in, batting exactly 300 in the 4 games before this.
3 for 10 with a triple and 3 RBIs for Messino.
Found that one back. Yeah, all 3 of those hits in the season for Messino came in one game where he went 3 for 4 in what was not even 9 innings played for him in that one game. He came out 6th. So shoot that one up the middle. It's going to be a tough play. He'll get in there safely, and he'll round head to second. That one trickles down the line. He'll get in there safely to second base. Let's see how they rule that one. To me, it looked like Messino was going to beat the throw.
Yeah, I'd give Charles a single there and then an E4 getting him to second. It's a tough play there from Darius Price trying to make the throw on the run. And he just spiked it, which allows Messino to get to second.
Yeah, it was a slow chopper. It's a slow chopper for Price over there at second, and he had to go across his body to make the throw, and it was just a tough one. Skips past. Tolia at first. Carrillo looks at strike 1. Carrillo looking to keep his bat hot. He failed on a butt single attempt to start off this game, but coming into the game, he was hitting 353 in his 5 games before this one.
Yeah, this situation would be more of a bunt situation, but it doesn't look like they're going to have him do it. They prefer Carrillo to swing away.
He'll drive that one out to right field. That one's settled under. Messino will tag. He'll head for third. And he'll get in there easily. And that ball gets past, but he'll stay there. And that was interesting, too, because as Messino broke, Cody Darcy, the shortstop for the Blues, kind of ran in the baseline of Messino and kind of looked like it almost altered his run path. But so Messino will move over the third on the fly out by Carrillo, which now brings Gavin Grant to the plate.
I mean, that was as good of a bunt as a bunt for Carrillo, who does the job and gets the runner over to third.
Yeah, with the wind heavily blowing from right to left, hard for a lefty to drive the ball out to right field. As Grant misses.
Grant's just 1 for 7 to begin his season, but we've seen him play some incredible defense out there at shortstop. We've also seen some really nice swings that just haven't gotten the results that he would like.
That one misses down the Grant.
Looks like a changeup there from Dabbs. Try to get Grant to maybe roll something over to this drawn-in infield.
Grant, one of the 3 guys who arrived on Tuesday. He'll rip that one through the 5-6 hole, and that'll be RBI single for Gavin Grant. The Oaks take the lead 1-0 here in the top of the third.
That's the first RBI of the season for Gavin Grant. It's an excellent piece of hitting. He laces that one through the 5-6 hole for the first run of today's ballgame.
We'll bring Brendan Durfee to the plate now. Durfee struck out swinging his first at-bat of the game. Coming into today, Durfee was hitting 286 in his 2 games up to this point. That one misses up.
For Durfee, this is a tough lefty-lefty matchup as we saw him strike out back in the first. But If he can jump on a hanging break or one of those fastballs breaking into his barrel, he can really get a hold of one.
Hold up on that one inside for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Durfee.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Brendan Durfee transition into the everyday catcher role.
I'll shoot that one up the middle. I'll get the force out there at second base. It's a bang-bang play, but they'll make the fielder's choice over there as Grant's out at second, and Durfee will reach first on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was a really slow chopped ball that Price was forced to get rid of quicker than he would like on that toss to second, and Messino made it much closer than I was expecting, but they were able to get the out just in time.
AJ Salgado steps in now. He grounded out to Dabbs, the pitcher, in his first at-bat. As that one misses down, Durfee will stay put at first.
That's good work back there behind the dish from Gallegos. That breaking ball's moving away from his body. Does a nice job of squaring up to it and keeping it in front of him.
That one misses away. 2-0 count now to Salgado.
Salgado comes into play today, hitting over 400 so far in his 4 games played. Still looking for his first extra base hit, though.
That one misses up and in as Salgado has to lean out of the way of that one. 3-0 count now to him. That won't get the outside part of the plate for strike 1 as Salgado was watching that the whole way.
Yeah, that one just nicked the outside corner. Since that quick first inning from Dabbs, he's running into a bit of trouble back in each of these next 2 innings.
That one will get the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Count's full, 2 outs, so Durfee will be on the move on the delivery.
AJ Salgado was not happy with that 3-1 strike call. It did look like it was below his knees. It might have been outside as well.
We have the hot sauce chants coming from the crowd. That one misses down the stairs, and it looked like the home plate umpire was about to ring up Salgado as he kind of jolted up like he was going to punch him out for strike 3, but it's going to be a walk that Salgado works after he didn't swing at a single pitch in that at-bat. It was 3 straight balls and 2 strikes that were borderline on the outside part of the plate, and then he looks at that one downstairs for ball 4, which brings Zach Dude to the plate, who reached via the E1 in his first at-bat.
Yeah, you always hate to see an umpire hesitate like that, where you know they want to call the strike 3, but they don't. As an offense, you love it, but as an opposing pitching staff, you hate that.
Dude fouls that one away. Dude having a good start at the plate this season. Over 450.
Not only that, Dude's walked 6 times, which is more than anybody else on the Oaks. So he's seeing the ball well at the plate.
That one gets away. Durfee and Salgado will move over as they're both now in scoring position, as there'll be ducks out on the pond there with now 2 potential runs coming in for Zach Dude if he can get one down into the gap out in the outfield with 2 outs here.
Yeah, that block wasn't as difficult as the one that Gallegos just made. It was just a changeup straight down in the dirt, but it looked like it kicked off his shin guard and bounced away.
That one misses for ball 2. That one misses inside. 3-1 count now to Dude. being careful with 2 runners on and first base not occupied. But based on what he did in the spring, Noah Carliner's a bat that can cause some damage on deck. Duday gets walked and brings Carliner to the plate with the bases loaded after back-to-back walks by Dabbs.
It's a big spot now for Noah Carliner, just from a personal and a confidence standpoint. Of course, Carliner struck out 3 times in Wednesday's game, and he drew a great walk in his first plate appearance.
So foul that one back.
For Carliner, we've seen a similar issue in these past few games where it's just been, he's had difficulty getting on time with that fastball up.
Goes off speed and misses, and this struggle for Dabbs is a rarity based on his 4 appearances before this one and his 2 starts. Only walked 5 batters up until this point. Carliner chases one downstairs behind count 1-2 now.
That's a beautiful breaking ball there from Dabbs. It starts belt high there to Carliner and then breaks towards his back foot and causes the swing and miss.
That one misses inside the Carliner.
That one nearly got a piece of Carliner's foot. Looked like he tried to keep it there and get the free RBI and the free run, but it missed him.
2-2 count for Carliner. Bases loaded. Dabbs delivers. Carliner swings and misses. So the Oaks get 1 run across in the form of Charles Messino as there's 7 bats come to the plate. Only 2 hits to show for the 7 of them as there were some walks that allowed them to get on with Dabbs struggling, but they strand the bases loaded. That'll take us to the bottom of the 3rd. Garrett Clark still on the mound for the Oaks. We'll be back. Taking out of the bottom of 3rd, Cody Darcy, the shortstop, will step in now for the Blues. Garrett Clark has done a great job to start this game on the mound for the Oaks.
Yeah, for Clark, he's thrown just 19 pitches through the first 2 innings. So he's been very efficient.
That one's grounded to short on the first pitch. That one's thrown over the head of Carliner as it's out of his reach. Going to second and getting in there is Darcy. So that one will go down as the E6 on Gavin Grant over there at short as he threw that one high as Carliner jumped off the bag and it still got off the top of his glove. So a mistake there from Grant.
Yeah, that's the first error that we've seen from Grant, who's played some stellar defense so far. So that's a rare miscue from him on a pretty routine play.
So now nobody out, and Clark's got to worry about a runner in scoring position. As E.J. Kritzman steps into the plate for his first appearance of the summer for the Blues. And he'll drive that one deep to right field. That ball is gone. So Kritzman, the first pitch he sees in a Blues jersey, he crushes one to deep right field, and the Blues take a 2-1 lead over the Oaks.
I mean, yeah, that ball was just absolutely obliterated. A no-doubter there from Kritzman, as that ball was gone right off the bat.
Yeah, now that ball was demolished, and as we mentioned, the wind is very heavily blowing in from right field, so just a mistake from Clark as he bounces back with a quick strike there at the Garrett Brooks. And unfortunate for him that it's 2 runs that go. Only 1 will be earned since Darcy reached via the error, but unfortunate for him as, you know, it changes the sequence the way he pitches after he goes from having what should have been 1 out, nobody on, to having a runner in scoring position and no outs.
Yeah, that's what errors will do to you.
That one shot to left field. Chavez settles under it for out number 1.
I mean, pitching with a runner on second, nobody out is a lot different than pitching with nobody on and 1 out. Just from a confidence standpoint, from a mechanics standpoint, it's just all completely different. And that error from Grant really ended up costing his pitcher and costing the Oaks.
Brings Jake Simons in. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning on the first pitch of his at-bat. As Clark drops another first pitch strike in there, and then Simons was caught stealing to end that inning. That one misses inside for ball 1.
That one nearly clipped him again, but fortunately for Simons, he was able to get out of the way of that one.
That one's fouled back. 1-2 count now to Simons. Simons has been having a spectacular summer so far in his 9 games before this one, batting .387. 1-2 count now from Clark. That one just misses outside as he went slider there.
That was a good leave there from Simons, but that one looked even more closer to the plate than the first pitch that we saw called a strike.
That one's fouled back.
We've already seen some inconsistency behind the plate from the plate umpire. For Simons, he leads the Blues in batting average, if you just including everyday players. And he's been hit 11 times in 9 games. So getting hit by a pitch is something that he's used to.
Well, actually 12 times in 10 games now after the start of this game.
Yep.
Count now full to him. Full count delivery from Clark. That one's flared out to right field. Radinsky can't get to that one. That will drop fair. Radinsky throws for second, and that one hits off the foot of Simons. And so he'll get over the third. So it'll be a double for Simons. And unlucky there for the Oaks, as it was not a line drive from Radinsky, but if that ball got to the glove of Gavin Grant at shortstop, Simmons would have been hosed. Simons, my apologies, would have been hosed at second, but it goes off his foot and allows him to get the third now.
That's just unluckiness all around for the Oaks. You just hate to see, as a pitcher, a bloop single or bloop double drop like that. And then the throw from Radinsky was pretty solid. It would have been a nice one-hopper into the glove of Grant, but just unfortunately for him, it hit the foot of the base runner.
Clark misses away, ball 1-2. Price struck out swinging on 3 pitches in his first at-bat back in the first after Simons was hit by that pitch.
Surprised to see the Oaks middle infield defense playing back here in this situation with 1 out in a 1-run ball game.
That one misses up for ball 2.
Clark throws Price something in a hit here. Price is just looking to do a job in this situation with the runner on third and less than 2-way.
That one's popped high behind the plate. That one will get down, heads up. Nice snag off the one bounce by Fan there. And it's kind of hard for us to show you, but this is the best atmosphere that the Oaks will experience all season long out here in San Luis Obispo. Tons of fans out here, obviously. Besides Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, this is really the closest they get to having their own sports team out here, and they pack the house every game.
Yeah, they sure do. We haven't seen this many fans anywhere.
That one's driven deep to left field. Chavez will settle under it. It'll be a RBI sac fly for Darius Price.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Darius Price. Picking on an elevated fastball and driving it to left field for the sacrifice fly and extending the Blues lead to 3-1.
Colin Villegas steps in. He also struck out swinging on 3 pitches back in the first, and Clark looking to get out of here with just the damage that's been done so far after some unlucky breaks for him as the throwing error by Gavin Grant to start things, and then the home run from Kritzman, and then the ball that goes off the foot. Messino at third fires across and gets out of it. So 3 runs come across in the bottom of the third for the Blues to make it a 3-1 ball game in their favor. We'll take you to top 4. While we're away, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click the notification bell to know when we are live.
After the Blues scored 3 in the bottom of the third inning, the Oaks now trail 3-1 heading into the fourth, with Josiah Chavez leading things off here. He was a strikeout victim his first time up, and he takes the ball off the outside of the plate.
Yeah, and the offense has got to bounce back, especially after that last half inning. You know, the home run, obviously, you know, a pitch that Clark just kind of left over the plate, but the other runs, not his fault.
Yeah, it was just unluckiness from Clark. As Chase Dabbs is still out there for the Blues, he's thrown 60 pitches through 3 innings. So the Oaks have done a really nice job of making him work as he falls behind Chavez 3-0. Getting a leadoff base runner for the Oaks after surrendering 3 runs would be huge in this situation. And that one just catches the outside corner for a strike.
It looks like it's Lucian Wetchberg who's going to be loosening up in the Oaks bullpen now and will be coming in for Clark maybe in the bottom half of this inning.
As that one's grounded softly to short, throwing across and making the play is Cody Darcy for out number 1. Good pitch there from Chase Dabbs, getting it on the hands of Chavez, not allowing him to elevate the baseball and forcing him to hit a routine grounder to short, which brings up Scott Radinsky, who also was a strikeout victim back in the second inning. We saw Radinsky get credited with an error just now back in the bottom of the third inning. On a throw that wasn't completely his fault. It was a nice one-hopper in his second, but it hit the foot of the base runner, Jack Simons, and allowed him to advance a base, giving Radinsky the error, who takes a breaking ball in the dirt.
Yeah, and that was more of an unlucky break than an error or anything for Radinsky, as he kind of just spiked it enough that it just ended up going to the foot of the base runner rather than right into the glove of Gavin Grant, who was covering second there.
3-0 to Scott Radinsky with Messino waiting on deck. Strike. Back-to-back at-bats, we've seen Dabbs fall behind 3-0, and back-to-back times we've seen him come back with a strike. He loses Radinsky, though, and walks him.
Good discipline at bat there from Radinsky.
For Radinsky, that was the first time we've seen him reach base this summer. So it's got to be a good feeling standing over there on first base. And Charles Messino is at the plate now. He singled to start things off last inning for the Oaks, but he came around to score the only run for them as well, and he takes a first pitch ball. For Messino, he had a chopper to second base that he beat out, and the throw to first got away, which allowed Messino to reach second, and then he came around to score. And that one misses outside. 2-0 now.
Yeah, we've seen this from Messino a lot already this summer. Disciplined, long at-bats.
Yeah, we've also seen some inconsistencies today with that outside corner. As that one was called a ball, we've seen pitches miss more off that have been ruled strikes. So let's see if we'll find any consistency in the home plate umpire. Two and 0 to Charles Messino. And he rips that one to right field. And that's over the head of the right fielder. Messino around first and head towards second. Going first to third is Scott Radinsky. And the Oaks now have 2 men in scoring position with just 1 away.
Nice piece of hitting there from Charles Messino once again, as he gets a nice barrel on that one and lines it over the head of the right fielder out there. E.J. Kritzman, who just put one over the fence in right field himself. So now Austin Carrillo steps in. A good chance to tie this game back up.
And that double is going to cause a mountain visit right now for the Blues. And it looks like they're actually going to go to the bullpen. So that is going to do it for the day of Chase Dabbs, who threw 72 pitches and 3 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. But the runners on second and third are both going to be his. So if they come around to score, that's going to add a couple to his line. We'll bring you the rest of the 4th inning after this break. Isaac Baez is the new pitcher now for the Blues as he inherits runners on second and third with just one away, with the dangerous Austin Carrillo stepping up to bat.
Yeah, this will be the 3rd game that Baez has now pitched in this summer. Started 7 1/3 innings pitched in the 2 appearances before this one. Gave 10 hits in those 7 1/3, 4 earned runs, 6 runs total came across against him, but also 8 strikeouts in those 7 1/3 innings.
And 0 walks also in those innings. So look to see some late longevity as well from Baez, who misses down with the first pitch to Carrillo.
Carrillo 0 for 2 today. Had the failed bunt attempt to start off this game, and then he hit one to right field that moved Messina over the third and allowed Messina to eventually come across on the RBI single from Gavin Grant.
And we have yet to see an 0 for game from Carrillo. Let's see if he can come through now with a couple runners in scoring position. For Carrillo, he's just looking to do a job now, get a runner in from third. A lot of different ways he can do that with the infield back, whether it's elevating it like he does just there as he flies that one to deep center field. Drifting back and making the catch out there is Simons, but that's more than deep enough to get Radinsky home from third, and the Oaks cut this lead in half. They now trail 3-2.
Nice piece of hitting there from Carrillo as he gets the RBI sac flies. That one won't count as an at-bat. And that one just started to drift and drift and drift and drift on Simon's out there, but he'll settle under it, but it allows Radinsky to score and Messino to move to third.
Yeah, the wind really caught that baseball and allowed it to just continue to carry as Grant takes a first pitch strike on the outside. He had the RBI knock for the Oaks back in the third inning when he drove in Charles Messino on a single to left field. And he takes the ball just down. That run will not be charged to Isaac Baez. That's going to be added to the line of Chase Dabbs, whose run total now pushed to 2. The runner on third is his responsibility as well. And that one gets away. Coming home and scoring is Messino. And the Oaks tie it here at 3.
So that one will go on the line of Dabbs, but that one will go unearned because that was via the passed ball. Sorry, a wild pitch that Baez just threw.
So that ends the day of Chase Dabbs, who finishes 3 1/3, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts as Grant skies that one to second base. Price makes the play, but the Oaks tie it at 3. We now head to the 4th inning in a brand new ball game. Oaks 3, Blues 3. The day is now done after 3 innings of action for Garrett Clark. He allowed 3 runs on 2 hits, a couple strikeouts, no walks, but he did hit a batter. New pitcher now for the Oaks is going to be Lucien Weschberg, who we haven't seen since the season opener against the Coastal Dodgers. This is his first outing of the CCL season, and his first pitch misses in the dirt.
You know, Weschberg back again for another summer with the Oaks. Hopes to do what he did in outing number 1.
Yeah, for Weschberg, he didn't allow a run in that outing. Or he did allow 1 run, but it was unearned. Didn't allow an earned run. Struck out a couple batters, but he did walk a couple as well. has the strikeout stuff, just has to command it. And he misses in the dirt once again to Tolia. Tolia flew out to right in his first at-bat. And he skies one to shallow right once again. Radinsky's on the run, and calling him off and making the play is Zach Duday to make the first out of the inning.
A long run there for Duday to settle into that one.
Yeah, I thought that was Radinsky's ball, but like we talked about, Austin, the wind is just blowing that ball towards right field and blowing it in, which allowed Duday to get there as opposed to Radinsky. Chase Gallegos was a fly out to left in his first at bat, and he lines that one down the left field line, foul. That ball was ripped there from Gallegos, but unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to keep it fair. That one catches the outside corner, 0-2 now. It's a great pitch there from Westberg. Really nothing Gallegos can do with that one, as it just nicked the outside of the plate and puts Gallegos in an 0-2 hole. That one misses up and in. Gallegos having to jump out of the way of that one.
Yeah, that one's a little scary. We saw last Friday. Better get hit in the head for the Foresters.
The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. It's a good job from Westberg to get the chase on the breaking ball, but Gallegos was able to stay alive and foul it off to force another one from Westberg. The 1-2 pitch just misses. I'm going to say outside. That one looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, it was like a pretty solid spot there from Wetchberg. I'm probably not happy that I didn't get the call on that one.
Could have been missed up, could have been out, not entirely sure. But here's the 2-2, and that one's in the dirt. Count goes full 3-2. Good plate appearance turned in so far from Chase Gallegos. Already seen 6 pitches. Now he's trying to win it. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's fouled away. That's a nice catch there by the young fan. He's pumped about it. Gallegos stays alive. Comes another 3-2. That one is tipped into the glove. Oh, and it's actually going to go into the dirt. So staying alive is Gallegos. Yeah, it looks like we all got fooled on that one, as Gallegos was just able to stay alive.
A lot of pitches in this at bat.
Yeah, it's a great AB. Already 8 pitches so far. Here's the 9th. Ball 4. An excellent at-bat turned in from Chase Gallegos, and he gets his reward.
Yeah, unfortunate there from Wetchberg is he was ahead in the count for quite some time and struggled to find his location. Gallegos fouls a couple off, and Wetchberg just loses him.
Yeah, that was a great job from Gallegos to stay alive and just outlasting Westberg there. Westberg did a pretty nice job of continuing to throw strikes after it went to 3-2. But Gallegos just fouled those pitches away as Tate Samuelson steps in. That one catches the outside corner. Not entirely sure where this strike zone is. We've seen it expanded. We've also seen it shrunk. We've seen it high, low, in. As that one misses down below the knees.
And it reads 2-0 on the scoreboard out in center field right now because I'm pretty sure the scoreboard operator thought like us that it was ball 1 on the first pitch of this at bat.
And Durfee tries to back pick to first. Good idea, but getting back there in time is Gallegos.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Brendan Durfee will gun somebody down in his past spring at Cal Lutheran. He grew out a mustache, earned the nickname Deputy, and had a nice call of Deputy Durf gunning the runner down.
Yeah, you saw a lot of that up close, Austin, and I'm sure it was pretty entertaining to see Durfee hosing guys out left and right. As the 2-1 pitch misses just up.
To me, that one looked a lot more of a strike than pitch number 1 that was ruled a strike in this at bat.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. As the count goes full 3-2, wouldn't be surprised to see Gallegos go as he stays put, and that one's fouled back again. Westberg just really hasn't been able to get that swing and miss with 2 strikes. After putting Gallegos in an 0-2 hole, he wasn't able to put him away. And we've seen the same thing with Samuelson right now. Going to get another payoff pitch here to Samuelson. There goes the runner, and he'll be in there as it's ball 4. So Westberg walks back-to-back hitters, which puts runners on first and second with 1 away for Cody Darcy.
The birthday boy Cody Darcy, as we were informed of.
Cody Darcy's already celebrated that birthday, scoring a run on the E.J. Kreitzman homer. Darcy having reached on an error back in the 3rd inning. He grounded one routinely to shortstop, but Gavin Grant was unable to make the play cleanly.
Darcy looking to get his bat going still this summer. It's his 10th game. The 9 before this, he's under the Mendoza line hitting 152 and 33 at bats, so trying to wake the bat up.
And Darcy swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. That's back-to-back plate appearances that we've seen Cody Darcy swing at the first pitch. Last time putting it in play and reaching on an error, this time fouling it back. Westberg just trying to get a ground ball. Now he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this. And the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, smothered back there by Durfee, who's able to hold the runners. Had another College World Series game come to an end with Notre Dame beating Texas. So we've seen both favorites today in the College World Series go down, with Texas A&M losing to Oklahoma earlier, and now Texas losing to Notre Dame. Here comes Westberg back. That ball's grounded to second. Duday flips it to Grant, who throws to first. Double play. That's a huge 4-6-3 double play for the Oaks to get out of this jam, as Lucian Westberg is able to
We'll welcome you back now. Top of the fifth, Brendan Durfee steps in the box for the third time today. 0 for 2 so far with a strikeout, grounded in the fielder's choice, stranded at third. He looks at ball one.
For Durfee, we've already seen a lefty crush a ball to right field today and hit one out. Let's see if Durfee can get a hold of one.
Swing and miss. Strike one.
It was surprising to have Brendan Durfee out of the lineup on both Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's good to see him back here on Friday. Hopefully he can get his first hit of the ball game, his first hit in a few days.
That one's bounced. Ball two. Kept in front though by the catcher, Chase Gallegos.
We've seen both catchers do a good job back there keeping the ball in front. Although Gallegos did allow one to get past for a wild pitch earlier.
Durfee looks at ball three. 3-1 count now to him. Swings and misses. My apologies. Foul tipped that one. Just missed that one. Count now full to Durfee. Durfee, the SCIAC tournament MVP. Swings and misses that one.
It's a good job from Isaac Baez coming into this ballgame and throwing strikes. After falling behind 3-1 to Durfee, getting him swinging is huge to start off this fifth inning.
AJ Salgado steps in now, his third at bat of the day. Grounded out to Dabbs when he was on the mound in the second, and then he walked back in his second at bat. 0 for 1, my apologies, not 0 for 2. So pop that one down the third base line. That one will nearly hit a pitcher out in the Oaks bullpen.
Yeah, the Oaks pitchers kind of all just stood there and watched it just land right in between them instead of trying to get out of the way of it.
Yeah, they're all kind of huddled together trying to keep warm out there, as it's not a super warm night right now out here in San Luis Obispo. Salgado drives that one out to left center field. That one's going to split the gap. Salgado will get in there with the one-out double.
I mean, that's just textbook. That's an excellent piece of hitting there from AJ Salgado. Looks like he got an off-speed pitch away, and he just kept his hands inside, ripped it into the gap in left center for a double. And that's the first extra base hit that we've seen this summer from Salgado, which we know he's more than capable of producing a lot of those.
Zach Duday steps in now with AJ Salgado out on the pond in scoring position. That one misses away. Duday reached twice in both of his plate appearances today. The first time he reached on an error by Chase Dabbs as he dropped a ball at first, and then he was walked by Dabbs in his second at bat. He'll rip that one to the left center field gap. That one's going to get down. Salgado around third. He'll be waved home. That ball cut off, and Salgado's in there. It's an RBI single for Zach Duday. The Oaks retake the lead.
That's a great swing there from Zach Duday. Getting his hands inside of that pitch, not letting himself get jammed too much. Lifting into left field for an RBI knock and giving the Oaks their first lead of the day.
Noah Carliner steps in now. He's 0 for 1 in his two plate appearances. Walked in the second inning and struck out swinging to end the third. And he'll shoot that one back up the middle. 4, 6, 3. So double play limits the damage. The Oaks retake the lead on an RBI single from Zach Duday, but quickly bouncing back, getting a ground ball there is Isaac Baez, as the Oaks go down quickly. It will take you to the bottom of the 5th. So another pitching change now for your Oaks is Evan Harmon will be the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Oaks, who have now retaken the lead. Harmon makes his 3rd appearance of this summer.
Yeah, for Lucian Westberg, he went 1 inning of action, walked a couple guys, but got out of it with no damage after getting an inning-ending double play.
Harmon drops strike number 1 in there to the man who homered in his 1 at-bat of the day, E.J. Kritzman. That one misses away. Harmon's pitched in 2 games so far this summer. He had a rough outing to start the season at Santa Barbara, where he walked 5, and he was responsible for 6 runs that came across in that game, and then he had a very clean bounce back in his 2nd appearance as he gets strike number 2 there. Count now 1-2 to Kritzman. That one misses just outside.
It's a really nice 1-2 pitch there. The changeup, trying to get the chase from Kritzman, and then one just misses off the plate. He could have even gotten the call. We've seen it called today, but didn't get the call.
That one's rolled over the first. Carliner bodies it, gets past him, but he'll flip it to Harmon for out number 1.
It's a good job there from Noah Carliner, just staying composed after bobbling it. We've seen so many times where a first baseman will bobble like that, lose their composure, and just not be able to pick it up or pick it up and spike it. But Carliner does a nice job of staying calm and getting the out at first.
Garrett Brooks steps in for his 2nd at-bat. He flew out to left his first at-bat of the game as he looked at ball 1.
Harmon trying to go for the first pitch back to a breaking ball, but he's not able to get it to break into the zone for a strike.
That one misses outside, ball 2.
Obviously, we saw in his first outing that the biggest issue was walks for Harmon. So You'd just like to see him stare on the strike zone like he did in his last outing.
That one's in there for strike one. Harmon out of ASU. That one misses downstairs. 3-1 count now to Brooks.
Harmon looking to avoid walking the 9-hitter before the top of the order comes up to bat.
And jams Brooks, and he'll foul that one back.
I mean,
Count now full.
that's a pretty bad choke job by that fan. He was just set up right under it and dropped it.
That's why you bring a glove.
Sure is.
That one's rolled over to the left side. Messino. What a play.
That's great hands there from Charles Messino on that slow roller. We saw him try to cut it off, get the pick, and make the throw across the diamond.
Simon steps in now. He's reached base in both of his at-bats, 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch to start his day on the first pitch that Clark threw, and then he was caught stealing to end the first, and they doubled and came around the score back in the third.
Yeah, it's been a productive day at the plate from Simons, to say the least.
That one's in there for strike one.
Like the first pitch breaker again from Harmon, this time he was able to keep it in the strike zone.
Simons looks at strike 2, 0-2 count now to him.
Harmon's just living on that outside corner. Really living on the edge of that lefty batter's box. He was working inside to the lefties.
Yes, he did. 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen for Evan Harmon. Will take you to the bottom of the 5th. My apologies, top of the 6th.
And we're back now for the 6th inning, where the Oaks lead the Blues 4-3 after they trailed in this one 3-1. Josiah Chavez leads things off, and he takes the ball from Isaac Baez. Baez came into this one for Chase Dabbs and inherited second and third back in the 4th inning. He allowed a sacrifice fly and a wild pitch, so both runners ended up coming in, although neither of them were charged to him. He now faces Josiah Chavez, who's 0 for 2 today. Struck out and grounded out, and he's now behind in the count 1-2.
And Josh forgot to inform everybody what exactly just happened in between innings that you guys saw. So you can buy a tennis ball for $1 here, and they put a bucket.
As Chavez hits that one into left center field for a hit. Continue, Austin.
So they put a ball bucket about 10 feet behind home plate, and there's a tall netting, as you guys can see, and everybody tries to throw a tennis ball into the bucket, and whoever is – I've yet to heard of somebody making one, so the tennis ball ended up being the closest. There's numbers on all of them. They won a $25 gift card, so it's a dangerous sport to try and do it, because some people can't make the throw over the net, and you got to watch out downstairs.
Yeah, we got our stat guy Cam actually right below that net, so we're checking on Cam to make sure he's okay, to make sure he didn't get hit in the face by any tennis balls. As Scott Radinsky's behind in the count 0-1. It's a good leave on a ball in the dirt. Chavez breaks for second, and he gets in there without a slide. Not sure if he just didn't expect the ball to be there. He was safe either way, but Chavez gets into second on the wild pitch without a slide.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. I thought the home plate umpire said Radinsky swung, but I guess he didn't. Yeah, he did, so it is 0-2.
Radinsky was unable to hold off on the breaking ball in the dirt. He's reached base today on a walk, his first time being on today as a member of the Oaks this summer. Struck out back in his first at-bat. With a runner on second and nobody out, just a ground ball to the right side here would do the job and advance the runner to third base. Here's the 0-2. Swing and miss.
Radinsky not happy about that strikeout.
And it's his second strikeout of the day. The second strikeout for Isaac Baez as well, which brings up Charles Messino, who's 2 for 2 today. He's got a double as well and scored 2 runs today for the Oaks. Messino also made a nice snag at third base. And he takes the first pitch outside.
Yeah, Messino's had a great start today, 2 for 2. 2 runs scored. As Josh said, a nice defensive play in the last half inning.
It's always great to see hands like that, too, for Messino at third base when you've seen him only start in left field up to this point. It's a good pitch there from Isaac Baez to get back even at 1-1. This 1-1 pitch, jam shot, gets through the 5-6 hole, and holding up at third base is Chavez. Messino heads towards second. He'll be in there. Good base running there from Charles Messino to advance to second. The Oaks got something cooking now with 1 down.
Have yourself a day, Charles Messino. Another base knock and great piece of running there. As now there's 2 runners in scoring position with the top of the order due up and only 1 out.
Austin Carrillo came up in this exact situation back in the 4th inning with second and third and 1 out, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do, driving a sacrifice fly to center field. Another sac fly here would double the Oaks lead from 4-3 to 5-3. See if he can come through once again.
Carrillo looking to get a hit again after he started the first 4 games of the year with a hit for a 4-game hit streak, and then he came in defensively on Wednesday and only had 1 at bat where he grounded out, and so he lost that hit streak. But now it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, here they come with the lefty. Makes sense considering that 3 of the first 4 hitters for the Oaks are left-handed hitters. Looks like it's going to be Lucas Gather. And we will tell you about him when we come back. New pitcher now for the Blues. It's going to be left-hander Lucas Gather. He's pitched in 2 games this season. Just 3 innings pitched, couple runs, but both of them unearned, so 0 ERA, but 3 walks in those 3 innings. Also 3 punchies as well, and a win. As that first pitch misses away to Austin Carrillo. Carrillo's trying to do what he did in his last at-bat, where he came up with second and third and his sacrifice fly to center field. The 1-0 to Carrillo misses outside. It's 2-0 now to Austin Carrillo. A walk here for Gaither isn't the worst thing, as it puts the double play ball in play, but behind in the count 2-0, you don't want to give him anything too good to hit, as Carrillo takes a 2-0 pitch for a strike on the inside half.
Yeah, and I mean, the only unfavorable matchup coming up is the next batter, so you got to be smart here.
Here's the 2-1. That one's grounded softly to first from Carrillo. That one rolls foul. I thought that It was touched before it rolled in foul territory. It looked like it was touched while it was on the line, but the home plate umpire disagreed and ruled it a foul ball. It looks like a lot of people are in agreement with me and think that it should have been a fair ball as well.
Yeah, that was a weird one. The base umpire even thought it was a fair ball as he ran over to make a play.
Yeah.
He signaled that Carrillo was safe because the first baseman dropped the ground there, and then he picked it up, tried and tag Carrillo, and dropped that.
But the Blues catch a break as it's now 2-2 to Carrillo. 3-2 now. Austin Carrillo at the plate in a big spot here with Gavin Grant waiting on deck. Grant drove in the first run of the day today for the Oaks, and he's the only righty in the slew of left-handers. So Gather wants to get Carrillo here, and that one's rolled foul.
Battle here from Carrillo.
It's a good back and forth that we got going on. We're going to do another payoff pitch now from Gather. Taken inside for ball 4.
Great at bat there from Carrillo.
He tried to go with a front door breaking ball. That one didn't break enough. Just missed off the inside part of the plate. The Blues dugout wanted that call as the bases are now loaded with Gavin Grant up there. Chance to do some damage. As that pitch misses inside to Grant, 1-0 now. Other than his RBI knock, Grant's flown out to center and also popped out on the infield.
I think Gather just missed his spot there, and that could have been a strike if the catcher grabs it.
That one's lined to short. What a diving effort and catch there by Cody Darcy.
Happy birthday, Cody Darcy.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, it is his birthday, and he makes an excellent catch, taking away a base hit and at least 2 runs from Gavin Grant and the Oaks.
I don't think you could ask for a better birthday present than that one.
Now, maybe a win for the Blues, but that looked like a surefire single from Gavin Grant. That was just excellent at shortstop from Darcy.
That saved 2 runs for sure.
Brendan Durfee, who's 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts, now with a chance to do some damage. This is the first pitch misses outside.
Yeah, and that's a tough one right there. It looks like it's been a strike half the game, a ball the other half, so tough for these pitchers.
Yeah, a lot of inconsistency with this strike zone so far today. As that one nearly gets Durfee, barely gets out of the way of it. He's ahead in the count 2-0. As Austin saw a lot this season, Durfee knows what to do in these situations. With runners in scoring position, runners on base, Durfee is great at driving the ball and driving guys in. And that one's well inside again.
Well, if Durfee doesn't get walked here, I'm looking at that big gap out in right center field.
But he is ahead in the count now, 3-0, with nowhere to put him. For Gaither, you got to come back with the strike right here. Have to imagine that Durfee's looking at this one. And he does. He watches it get in there for a strike. 3-1 now the count. This is a big pitch here from Gaither. Don't want to walk Durf, but you also don't want to give him something too juicy, knowing the kind of power that he has. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Taken inside for ball 4. Gaither walks in a run, and the Oaks extend their lead here in the 6th to 5-3.
Yeah, and that was an interesting at bat as we saw Gaither miss outside, and then he tries to get it back in the zone and just inside. He kept missing and almost got Durfee multiple times, and now he's got a favorable lefty-lefty matchup, but not a matchup I'd want to face with the bases loaded with this guy at the plate.
Yeah, AJ Salgado sure is a scary hitter. He's 1 for 2 today, doubled into the left center field gap. He also walked, and he takes a half swing at that one and fouls it back. Normally the everyday third baseman, Salgado doing his damage at the designated hitter spot today. Also moving back a spot in the order from the 3-hole to the cleanup spot. And he swings through that one and falls behind the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to AJ Salgado. Missing just off the outside corner. Salgado stays alive.
Yeah, and that one's in the same place that we've seen that inconsistent call. Again, the umpire with the hitch, like he wasn't sure whether to call it a strike or not.
Yeah, we've seen that hesitation a lot out of that. His home plate umpire wanting to call strikes that he won't pull the trigger on. As this 1-2 pitch misses just in. Almost the exact same spot that we saw him miss to Brendan Durfee. Trying to go with the front door breaker. 2-2 now.
Just saw the umpire turn towards the Blues dugout. I'm guessing there was a complaint about the recent calls.
And Salgado fights off the 2-2 breaking ball. Gaither tried to go front door with it again. And this time it looked like it would have caught the zone, so Salgado does a nice job of fouling it off. Also not entirely sure if these front door breaking balls are designed that way. Maybe he wants them more in the dirt. Here's the 2-2 to Salgado. And that one's driven down the line foul towards left. We'll do it again.
Battle of an at-bat right here from Salgado.
Yeah, still 2-2, but Salgado's already seen 6 pitches. Already working a quality at-bat right now. Trying to turn it into a run-scoring chance for the Oaks. Here's another 2-2 from Gaither Salgado. And that one's lifted to shallow left field.
That's going to be a tough play.
That's going to be a tough play, and that one's going to drop. It'll score 2. And Durfee holds at third after AJ Salgado bloops one off the end of the bat for a double down the left field line. That one just hit a no man's land. Really nobody with a chance to get to that one.
I knew right away off the bat that that one was going to be a tough play. It was a ball that was too shallow for a play to be made by the left fielder, Brooks, and tough angle for Samuelson, who's playing for the first time this summer, to get 2 over at third, and Darcy just unable to get all the way over there from short.
And this long inning for the Oaks continues. As Duday's up there, he takes the ball. The Oaks now lead this one 7-3 here in the 6th inning. They took a quick 1-0 lead and saw that lead dissipate quickly. Fell behind 3-1. Since then, they've scored 6 runs unanswered and take a 7-3 lead. Zach Duday swings through a pitch, and the count's even at 1-1.
For those unaware, the Oaks looking for some vengeance. Took a loss to the Blues, the CCL playoffs last year. Blues eventually losing in the championship game. The Oaks just falling short in the loser's side of the bracket semifinal after losing that game to the Blues. And last time here, It was the last road game before the playoffs for the Oaks. Visited the Blues, and they lost that one as well.
So the Oaks looking for their first win here in Obispo after a couple losses, as that one misses outside. 3-1 now the count to Zach Duday. First base is open. So a walk here obviously isn't the worst thing in the world, but it obviously isn't ideal. As the 3-1 misses in the dirt. That's going to put the bases loaded once again.
I want to see our first change of the game for the Oaks.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be Colin Hynek pinch hitting for the struggling Noah Carliner. Carliner's day is done after a strikeout and a double play. He also walked. And Colin Hynek will hit for him. Hynek's looking for his first hit of the summer coming into this one. 0 for 7. Does have a few walks in there. And a walk here would drive in a run. But Colin Hynek's trying to do more damage than that. And really try to put a big gap in between these two teams. And this will also be the 9th hitter to come to the plate for the Oaks this inning, as Hynek swings through that one.
This is a big spot for Gaither. Even though he walked that guy, no one hurt. 4 runs isn't impossible to come back from.
The 0-1 to Hynek. Breaking ball in the dirt. 0-2 now. It's a good pitch there to get the chase from Gaither. And that now Hynek finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away. Hynek stays alive after that. Gaither fastball was breaking off the outside corner. It was a good spot there on 0-2, and Hynek does a nice job of staying alive. Pitches a lot of arm side run. Another 0-2 pitch to Hynek. Strike 3 called. Lucas Gaither is able to strike out Colin Hynek, but not before the Oaks were able to plate 3 runs, extending their lead to 7-3. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Blues chasing 4. new pitcher on the mound for the Oaks here in the 6th inning. It'll be right-hander Danny Vilos. We saw him the other day. We've actually seen him twice. A few innings of action, just 1 run allowed. We also see a couple of defensive changes for the Oaks. Colin Heineck stays in the game for Noah Carliner at first base. And then we've also seen Jack Brooks enter the game to play second base, coming in for Duday.
I believe he actually came in for Messino. I think Duday's now over at third. And Sulak's behind the plate now.
Yeah, looks like Duday over at third, Sulak behind the dish for Brendan Durfee. Brooks into the game for Messino. As Darius Price is doing the hitting. 1-1 now to Price, who's 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the first. Also had a sacrifice fly to left field in inning number 3. Is that off? Breaking ball misses high. Could have been a called strike had Sulak been able to hold on, but not sure. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Count goes full, 3-2.
Good job by Sulak to keep that one in front.
Yeah, good job by Sulak. Newly entering, so it's got to be tough for him being back there after sitting on the bench for a majority of this game. Blocks the first pitch in the dirt, and the payoff pitch from Vilos is lifted to left field. Settling under it is Josiah Chavez for out number 1.
Can't confirm that Zach Duday stayed in the game as he just turned around and showed us his numbers, so thanks, Zach.
Appreciate Zach looking out for us. Colin Villegas is now at the plate.
Smell of hot dogs looming into the press box here.
Yeah, that smells really good. We got a long bus ride home, so should probably eat something before we leave. As Villegas is 0 for 2, he struck out and grounded out today. Takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner. And that one's lifted to shallow center. It's actually going to be caught at second base by the second baseman, newly entered Jack Brooks. 2 up, 2 down. That was just off the end of the bat. And once again, we see a newly entered player get a play in his first inning of action out there with Brooks catching that pop-up. That's 2 quick outs now out of the bullpen for Vilos. Now faces Zach Tolia with nobody on and 2 out. First pitch misses in the dirt. Trying to go off speed with it and get a chase. But Tolia holds up.
Vilos has done a good job to start this inning.
And that one misses down below the knees. 2-0 now to Tolia. For Vilos, he's struck out 5 batters in just 3 innings of action, so he really knows how to get the punchy. He goes with a 2-1 off-speed pitch that's in there for a strike, or 2-0 off-speed pitch. Get in there, his first strike. As we're now hearing that that first pitch was called a strike on a check swing. So instead of 3-1, we got 2-2 here.
I agree. I thought the same thing.
He had a late appeal to first base that wasn't shown as Velos gets the strikeout. So a quick 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen from Danny Velos, and he punctuates it with a strikeout. We head to the 7th inning with the Oaks leading 7-3. Josiah Chavez leads things off here in the top of the 7th inning as the Oaks look to extend their 7-3 lead.
We got Chavez steps in now after going all 9 batters last inning. He'll step in now for the 4th time today. And he'll drive that one out to deep right center field. That one top the fence, and he'll get in there with the leadoff double.
That ball was ripped by Chavez, and that's now back-to-back innings that he's let it off with a hit.
Yeah, and he needed it too coming into this game, hitless so far this season.
Well, he's added 2 to that hit total. Brings up Scott Radinsky, who's also looking for his first hit of the summer.
Yeah, Radinsky struck out swinging last inning, and he was not happy with himself. That one misses for ball 1.
It's good to see Radinsky get another chance here and not see him getting pulled from the game like we saw Heineck replace Carliner.
That one's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
That pitch is like 50-50. Half the time it's a strike, half the time it's called a ball.
And that one gets the plate for strike 2 as Radinsky thought about swinging and held up, and it's ruled strike 2 anyways. And now he's behind 1-2 as Jack Brooks waits on deck for his first at-bat of the game.
Radinsky's looking to avoid the hat trick in his first start.
That one misses downstairs in the dirt, kept in front by Chase Gallegos.
Good work behind the plate by Gallegos to keep that in front. Also a good leave by Radinsky. spin on the 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt.
That one bounces. Gallegos knocks it down, keeps it relatively close. Count now full to Radinsky.
For his sake, hopefully Radinsky can win this at bat. After falling behind in the count, he's done a nice job of taking some high quality pitches and getting the count full.
Radinsky swings and misses. Strike 3.
It's a tough day at the plate for Scott Radinsky, and you can see his frustration. But hopefully he doesn't get it in his head. And hopefully it's not something that lingers with him for a while.
So Brooks steps in now. Chavez still stands on second after the leadoff double. That one gets the outside part of the plate for strike 1 on that part of the plate that's been kind of wishy-washy so far. Brooks, his third game now, hitting .250 in the 2 before this.
Yeah, 1 for 4 for Brooks, but he has drawn 3 walks.
That one misses for ball 1.
We've also seen Brooks turn in a few really nice plays defensively over there at second base. Some plays that you wouldn't expect an incoming freshman to make.
That one misses downstairs for ball 2.
It was a good pitch there to try to get that called strike from Gather, but unfortunately for him, it missed just down and he didn't get the call.
That one gets the outside part of the inconsistent plate for strike 2. 2-2 the count now.
And once again, we see inconsistency with that outside corner. That pitch has been a strike sometimes, a ball sometimes. That time, it's called a strike.
2-2. That one ripped foul all the way out in the parking lot.
It's a good job from Brooks to foul that pitch off. Stay alive.
Two delivery again. That one misses up. Count now full.
Good AB turned in from Jack Brooks, taking quality pitches, fouling off quality pitches. Now he's looking to get one he likes and rip it.
Gaither has worked the last 2 batters full now after leading off after giving up the first pitch. Double of this inning is Chavez, who probably feels like he's been standing out there forever. That one misses away. And what was the same spot that has been ruled a strike twice and not at bat, now ruled a ball, and Brooks works a walk in his first plate appearance of the day, which is going to bring Austin Carrillo to the plate for the 5th time today. In his 4 plate appearances before this, he had a failed bunt single attempt to lead off the game, had a fly ball that moved Messino over from second to third and eventually resulted in the first run of the game back in the 3rd, had an RBI sac fly in the 4th, and then walked and came around to score last inning.
The Oaks with a good chance to extend their lead here with the top of the order up there and 2 men on base.
Carrillo drives that one to left. And that one will be settled under by out there. Garrett Brooks is off the bat initially. It looked like that one was going to split them, but then the wind just quickly pushed that one over for out number 2. It's been Gavin Grant to the plate now for his 5th plate appearance of the game. flew out to center to start his day in the first. Had an RBI single in the third. Grounded out. My apologies. Popped out to second base and then was absolutely robbed of a 2-run single last inning on a diving play by Cody Darcy, the shortstop. As that pitch misses well wide.
This time, but maybe in about 15 minutes where it starts to move that.
Gallegos is going to go talk to Gaither now.
As we get later into this ball game, runs are going to be harder and harder to come by. As the colder it gets, the less the ball is going to fly. So for the Oaks, putting some more runs on the board here would be huge, as the home run ball for San Luis Obispo would be very difficult to get.
That one's ruled strike one, and it is already cold. We've reached the under 60-degree mark. Luckily, we're inside. Still feel the breeze a little bit. Definitely would not be happy being at our setup at our home field at Cal Lutheran with this weather, because it would be cold.
Yeah, we wouldn't like that, being on the roof and just letting the cold.
I've done it before, and it's not fun. As that one's looped to shallow right field. That one's dropped. Oh, score. Chavez. Brooks rounds. He'll head for home. And so that's going to be a double for Grant, because it did not touch the glove of the right fielder,
I mean, that.
E.J. Kritzman, and so it's going to be a 2 RBI double for Gavin Grant.
Wow, that's really generous, giving him a double. I thought it tipped off his glove. Looked like he set it under it, but that's great hustle from Brooks to just continue to keep running all the way around and score from first.
It just started to drift a little bit, moved around there, and Kritzman just couldn't settle under it. So now we're going to see a pitching change as Luke Mistone's going to check in now for the Blues, and we'll be back after Mistone's done warming up. But while we're away, make sure to subscribe, like the video, turn on the notifications. We'll be back. So it's Luke Mistone who's in now for the Blues, as he'll be their fourth pitcher of the game, and he'll inherit Grant on second with 2 outs now, just trying to get out of this without another run coming across. And Cody Sulak steps in for his first plate appearance, as he'll hit that one out to right field. That's going to be another tough play, and that one's going to drop in, and that's going to be an RBI single for Cody Sulak. There's argument on the last one. Well, there was a hit or an error. I just watched back the replay on the stream. I said it was hit. Did not make contact. Obviously, that one, easy call there. RBI single for Sulak in his first plate appearance today. And that's going to actually be the first hit of the summer for Cody Sulak, which obviously means his first RBI, so he's got to feel good about that one, even though it wasn't, you know, incredibly well hit, but feels good, and now the Oaks lead increases 10-3.
Yeah, the Blues are kind of just falling asleep out there. We saw Kreitzen and Wright just kind of stand there and watch the ball fall in front of them, and just now we just saw first baseman Zach Tolia actually not holding Sulak on first. He had to be reminded by his dugout to hold the runner on.
That one misses down to Salgado. 2-0 count to him. Salgado now in for the 5th time today. Grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd. Walked in the 3rd. A double came around the score in the 5th. 2 RBI double in the 6th and was stranded there. So shoot that one to the left center field gap. And that one's going to drop in too. Sulak's going to round 2nd. He'll head for 3rd. The throw. Late. He gets in there. So another hit for AJ Salgado, make it his 3rd of the game, and aggressive base running there with 2 outs by Cody Sulak. This will now bring Zach Duda to the plate, and after that single, Josh, it's growing even tougher to decide on what's going to be our play of the game.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that, Austin. I mean, Salgado, Messino, Chavez, we got a lot of guys that are putting up a fight to be today's player of the game.
That one misses as Gallegos keeps that in front. Duda today has reached base in all 4 of his at-bats, so he's in the conversation as well for play of the game. He reached via a dropped ball at first base on a ground ball to the first baseman that the pitcher dropped, and stealing 2nd there is AJ Salgado to add another notch to his day as the ball's dropped by Gallegos on what I thought was going to be a throwdown. But Duda reached on a ball he hit to first, and then it was a tough play for Dabbs to make covering the bag as he dropped it. Then he walked. Then he had an RBI single, and he walked in his last at-bat. So he's looking to make it 5 for 5 on making it on base successfully as he fouls that one back.
Yeah, should Duda reach base here, that would be back-to-back games that we've seen him on in every plate appearance. We saw in his player of the game performance on Wednesday, we saw Duda reach base in all 4 plate appearances. He's reached base in all 4 already today. We'll see if he can do it in his 5th.
And that one was a tough decision too between him and Gannis. Gannis struck out looking on the off-speed pitch to end the inning. So 2 more runs come across this inning for the Oaks on what was an arguable decision on what we're going to see. It ruled, I say, a 2-run double for Gavin Grant. Others say an error, but it didn't hit the right fielder's glove. I watched the replay. But this will take us now to the bottom of the 7th. The 7th inning stretch, and everybody's going to sing. We'll be back. welcome you back now for bottom 7. So that one gets in there. First strike number 1 to Chase Gallegos. Danny Vilos still on the mound for your Oaks.
Vilos is a really efficient 1-2-3 6th inning out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Vilos has been very solid this season for the Oaks in his appearances. 3 innings pitched. In 2 appearances, only 1 run allowed. As that one's ripped down the third base line, foul.
Gallegos today flew out to left in his first plate appearance and then also walked. For Vilos, looking for his second strikeout in as many innings.
That one's popped a mile high in the infield, and Vilos will do it himself.
The rare pop up to the pitcher, as Vilos is really the only one with a chance to make that play, and he calls everyone else off.
As a reminder, the Oaks will be on the road again tomorrow. Another 6 p.m. start. Visiting the Foresters once again. 2 trips to Santa Barbara, 2 Fridays in a row, and it's going to be the 3rd time the Oaks have already played the Foresters this season, as Samuelson swings and misses at strike number 1. That one's popped foul. My apologies. It'll be a second time in 8 days. Today's Friday. I lost track of the days already. So, Foresters last Friday. Foresters tomorrow on the road. Foresters on Tuesday. And then the Oaks will play the Foresters twice in 3 days to end the month. So, it'll be 5 matchups against the Foresters. As that's a single in the center field. Well, I think that's actually the first ball that Austin Carrillo's seen all night.
Yeah, there haven't been very many, if any, balls hit to center field today for the Blues. I believe that's the first one as well. And that just sets up the double play ball right now for Vilos.
And that one's fouled away for strike number 1. I think I just heard a sound effect of glass shattering, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we play that sound effect too when I broadcast games. First time I heard it, I actually announced that a card just got shattered and then found out that it was in effect.
So Darcy behind 0-1 now, the birthday boy. That one misses away. Great job by Sulak to keep that one in front.
I was hitting fungos today to infielders. And we were taking what? Fungos? Fungos? What is it? I don't know. Oh, so it's like a fungo is like a really long wooden bat. Oh, that's the ball. That's the bat you hit ground balls to. Yeah. Oh.
Darcy tardy on that one.
And I broke 2 of those. You broke 2? I broke Coach Casey's at the 3rd swing. And I said sorry. And right after that, Coach Miller gave me his. And
1-2 count now.
I don't know about this. Yeah. I already broke one like the 3rd swing in.
That one's ripped foul.
But they're like, keep swinging it. I'm like, all right. Well, I didn't know they were called fungos. Yeah.
Darcy, although he struggled at the plate today, he reached on an error and grounded into a double play. He turned in the defensive play of the game on a line drive to shortstop that he dove and took away a hit and took away a couple runs from the Oaks.
It is his birthday as well. So have yourself a day. Sulak keeps that one in front too. Sulak and Durfee, 2 catchers today for the Oaks, have done a great job defensively. 2-2 count now to Darcy.
Well, Darcy's happy with the diving catch birthday gift, but I think he would have preferred a W. And that might be hard to come by as his team trails 10-3 with just 8 outs to work with.
But we're happy with the birthday gift he got.
Looks like Darcy's battling right here, 2-2.
That one's ripped to left field, and there's a birthday base knock.
There's a Darcy birthday hit. Back-to-back singles for the Blues. First and second with 1 out.
Good piece of hitting there from Cody Darcy. Good at bat. Fell behind 1-2. Continued to foul off pitches and stayed up there until he found one he liked and laced it to left for a knock.
EJ Kreitzman will step in now. He homered off of Clark back in the third, and then he grounded out to Carliner over at first in his only 2 at-bats. Oh, weird to think that it's only the 3rd time through the order for this Blues team. He'll swing and miss in that one, and Carliner's had some defensive struggles out in right field as he allowed that one to drop last inning.
Yeah, for Kreitzman, he had that one hit off his glove, or according to Austin, not hit off his glove.
I watched the replay.
So the one that he overran, that's not an error apparently. And then there was also the bloop that landed in front of him that he didn't get a good read on either.
That one misses down.
I met Tate, but I knew Tate. Called him the designated hitter. I went to Efren's, the Mexican restaurant right next to Sinsheimer. Okay. And was he there too? Yeah, he was there. I talked to him.
Vilos will just reset
For a good 20 minutes.
there, and the fan yelled balk, and for a second I thought it was actually umpire calling balk, so good job of the fan for tricking me on that one.
Yeah, yelled it a couple times to make it sound like it was the umpire, but
I know all the Blues players. Bunch of cool guys.
Time called.
Yep. Officially retired.
it's a very long gap in between pitches, Austin.
Not a day off.
Yeah, him and Sulak are trying to get on the same page.
Nope. Just enjoying myself. Got a nice view. Ball and a strike to EJ Kreitzman.
That one's ruled strike 2 after Vilos finally delivers.
Gave a little head nod, but
It's a really good pitch there from Duda on the inside corner. Really like, or from Vilos, I should say, on the inside corner.
I was like 2 days pitching all of a sudden. What happened?
Yeah, I really like watching Vilos out there because he does a good job of staying around the strike zone and just letting his defense work.
thrown out. But there's been a couple times
1-2 count now. Vilos delivers.
smart mouth
Held up there is Kritzman as that one's inside.
gets a big smart mouth in the back. Just a little exchange. A little disagreement, but nothing.
It seemed like Kritzman's moonshot was really going to turn things in the favor of the Blues. And then all of a sudden the Oaks offense erupted and responded with 9 runs unanswered. That one misses away, count now full.
It's a big pitch here from Vilos.
No action in the Oaks bullpen right now. Somebody is stretching, but don't know if that's just to warm up their body temperature to warm up for the game.
I got thrown out. We were still down by, I think, 2.
Full count.
Bob gets ejected in the 2nd.
Vilos delivers.
I think we were still down.
That one misses up.
Good take right there.
Base is now loaded.
Bob got ejected, and then
We'll see Oaks pitching coach Scott Radinsky, whose son is in right field, make the mound visit here to talk to Vilos. It's like he just sent somebody down to the Oaks bullpen to start loosening up, as I think somebody's still stretching out there. He's got his hoodie on still, so I haven't been able to clock a number. It's too far away to recognize a face. So we'll see who we get action-wise, but stepping in now is going to be Garrett Brooks for his 3rd at-bat as He'll be the final guy to come to the plate for the 3rd time through the order for the Blues, and he's 0 for 2 so far today.
Yeah, this is a huge chance right now for the Blues to cut into this Oaks lead. Currently a 7-run deficit, but with the bases loaded and less than 2 away, the Blues have a really solid chance to put up a crooked number.
I want to give a shout out to whoever's been on aux today for the Blues. I've been enjoying myself with the music ever since we showed up 5 hours ago. That one skied out to center field. Routine fly ball for Carrillo. He actually drops it. And so that one is a tough one to rule because it's going to be
It's a hit.
It's the same thing that happened in right field.
That's a hit. Carrillo never saw that ball, and it just landed right in front of him.
Statistically, mental error, actually a hit.
Yeah, there you go.
So Carrillo, I don't know if he lost it in the lights.
He never saw it. You could see his arms were up in confusion as the ball was coming
I
in.
thought he was doing the usual Austin Carrillo, deking you out, which he may have been since he didn't see the ball, but it's going to be an RBI base knock for Garrett Brooks. And that one gets past Sulak. And another run comes across.
This is really getting away from Velos and the Oaks.
And all of a sudden, this crowd's woken up as the Bulls' eyes are lit up and the tail's moving out in left center and the air cannons are going off. And 2 runs have come across against Velos with 2 in scoring position. And see what's going on as the umpire's gone over to talk to, I think, Bob Miller, the head coach for the Oaks. Not sure exactly what they're talking about.
And it looks like it's going to be Charlie Adamson down in the Oaks bullpen getting ready to throw. Or he is throwing, getting ready to come into this ball game.
Yeah, they're trying to probably rush Adamson to get in now with all of a sudden the struggle from Velos. That one swung on and missed for strike 1. Obviously, the runs aren't a good thing, but you don't have too much to stress about Josh after scoring 9 unanswered runs and still having a 5-run lead at this point.
Yeah, except that the Blues still have runners on second and third with their top of the order at the plate. So for Velos, it's about limiting the damage right now. As you can see, the infield's back with the runner on third because they're more than willing to trade outs for runs in this situation. But can't get outs without strikes.
4th at bat now for Simons. A swing at strike 2. Simons today hit by the first pitch that Garrett Clark threw in the first inning, and then he was caught stealing, trying to take a bag on Brendan Durfee to end the first, and he doubled, came around to score the 3rd run of the 3rd inning for the Blues, and he struck out swinging in his last at-bat. No strikeout looking there. Nice spot there from Danny Velos, a nice bounce back. Now he's got 2 outs.
Simons didn't like that call, but it was a perfectly executed 2-2 breaking ball from Danny Velos that he was able to just nick the outside corner with.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's happy with the strike zone today, pitchers or batters.
No, there's been a lot of inconsistencies back there.
Price struck out swinging on 3 pitches in his first at-bat against Clark back in the first. He looks at ball 1 there. Then he had the RBI sac fly that knocked in Simons in the 3rd, and he flew out to Josiah Chavez and left to start off the 6th, and now he's here in the 7th for his 4th at-bat of the game.
And definitely his biggest at-bat of the ball game, too, with 2nd and 3rd and 2 away.
So swing and miss at that one. The slider fooled him as Sulak had to slide to his right to keep that one in front.
It's a great job by Sulak to block that breaking ball. Breaking away from him, slides over, centers his body, and keeps it right beneath him.
Time will be called there, 1-1 count. It is to Price. He's still got 2 runners in scoring position. Sulak will now go talk to Velos, get on the same page to try and get out of this inning with damage limited to only 2.
Yeah, with this runner on second, there's been some confusion as to signs between Velos and Sulak. So we're seeing multiple meetings between the two of them.
And I can see Austin Carrillo and Josiah Chavez talking out in the outfield right now, and I just saw Carrillo make an R movement showing Chavez exactly what happened on that baseball, and very rare that you see a mistake like that defensively from Carrillo. He gets upset and beats himself up when stuff like that happens. That one's fouled off to the right side, and that one's... Another cool thing here at SLO is there's an official sponsor for the foul balls today, so all the kids here get to keep the foul balls.
Which is why after every foul ball that's hit, we see dozens of kids sprinting and screaming.
Happens at Calou too, they just usually don't get to keep the baseballs. That one's fouled back. Price continues to battle.
Velos looking for a big strikeout in this situation, but Price has done a nice job of fouling off these pitches. Let's see if Velos can put him away.
That one's up 2-2 now. Two delivery from Velos. That one misses away, count now full.
That's a really good take right there from Darius Price. Thought for sure that he was going to chase on that breaking ball there from Velos, but he was able to hold up.
Yeah, Price has really cleaned things up after that 3-pitch strikeout to start his day. Last 2 at-bats have run the count full from him. And that one is a ball, and it walks the bases loaded, and we'll see if that ends the day for Velos. As Adamson's actually not even up in the bullpen anymore, so it looks like they're going to roll with Velos.
I think that just might be because Adamson's ready to come in.
Actually, is going to be it, as we'll see another mound visit here. No official signal yet. There's the official signal, so that's going to call in the night for Velos. It'll bring Adamson in to inherit the bases loaded situation. 2 outs here. We'll be back when Adamson's ready. So as we resume here in the bottom of the 7th, it's Charlie Adamson out of Santa Barbara State College who steps in now for his 3rd appearance of the summer. Here it's the bases loaded situation that Velos left him with Colin Villegas into the box for his first game with the Blues. That one's in there for strike 1. He's still looking for his first hit of the summer. Struck out swinging on 3 pitches as well in the first inning against Clark. Then he grounded out to Mastino on what was a beautiful play that he made in the 3rd. And he popped out to second base back last inning to Brooks. Now down 0-2.
0-2 now for Adamson. Doesn't want to give him anything too good here in this situation, but you got to be careful. If you bounce something, you got to trust your catcher.
That one bounces to get past Sulak, but not that far away as Sulak just stares Kreitzman back to 3rd.
Yeah, Sulak does a nice job of just keeping that one close. Like I said, throwing anything in the dirt with a runner on 3rd base. You got to show good faith in your catcher. You got to trust him. And Adams did right there, and Sulak did a nice job of keeping the runners at their respective bases.
Durfee and Sulak have done a good job cleaning things up defensively for the Oaks tonight as he blocks another one there.
That was just a spiked fastball there from Adamson. Not even an off-speed pitch to get the batter to chase. He just throws that one directly into the ground.
Ball 3, 3 straight balls now from Adamson after being up 0-2, and now you're going to have the runners in motion with 2 outs, count full.
Yeah, this is getting to be dangerous territory here for the Oaks. 3-2 now. Adamson has thrown 3 balls in a row since being ahead 0-2.
Delivers the full count pitch. Runners go. That one's fouled back. 6 pitches. This will be the 7th one now to Villegas.
Hopefully Adamson can replicate that 3-2 pitch because that was really nice on the outside corner. But we have seen him already spike a couple fastballs this at bat.
Delivers again. That one's fouled away.
It's an excellent battle we got going back and forth between these two. Blues hitters this innings have been hard to sit down as Oaks pitching just hasn't been able to get that swing and miss when they've needed it.
This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. Villegas and Adamson battle. Swung on a miss. So Adamson gets out of it after falling back. After being up 0-2, he gets his strikeout after throwing 3 straight balls and a couple being fouled away. So the Blues get 2 this inning to make it a 10-5 ball game now after allowing 9 straight unanswered. And now we'll head to the top of the 8th, and we'll point the camera out to left field for you guys can see this little shoe race that's about to go on. We'll be back after that.
We're back here now for the 8th inning as Charlie Adamson was able to get out of the scare back in the bottom of the 7th when the Blues had bases loaded. It's Colin Heineck's up there. He takes the first pitch strike on the outer half. This is his second at-bat of the day since entering in the 6th inning for Noah Carliner, and he takes the ball. 1-1 now. And Heineck gets a hold of that one. He drives it to deep left field. Back goes the left fielder, and it's way gone. Colin Heineck gets his first home run of the summer and extends the Oaks' lead to 11-5.
Not a bad way to get your first hit of the summer, too, as Colin Heineck absolutely demolished that baseball to left central field as that one probably got close to 400 feet out there as it just went over the 380 sign out there in left field as the Oaks answer things with the home run.
Wasted no time is Colin Heineck as he just obliterated that baseball. And just the 3rd home run of the season for the Oaks. Josiah Chavez finds himself in an 0-2 count. He's having a good day at the plate so far. Getting a hit in each of his last 2 plate appearances, each of the last 2 innings actually, and coming around to score in both of them. As he takes a pitch in the dirt here. Chavez was a double to lead things off back in the 7th inning. Still Luke Mastoni out there on the mound. Here's the 1-2 to Chavez. Misses.
Nice take there by Chavez, and yeah, he's really come alive in his last 2 at-bats after a slow start. Struck out swinging and grounded out to short the first 2.
He's now worked the count full 3-2.
He had the single in the 6th and swiped the bag and then scored and then had the double and then scored.
And he swings and misses. Chavez strikes out for the 2nd time today. That brings up Scott Radinsky. He's also been a strikeout victim today 3 times in 4 plate appearances for Radinsky. He also walked. Scott takes the first pitch high for a ball.
Yeah, Radinsky still looking for that first hit. Trying to build off the momentum that his Santa Barbara City College teammate Charlie Adamson just made in the last half of the inning.
1-1 to Radinsky.
Have I been hearing the PA announcer correctly? He's been calling Scott Rolinsky the whole time.
I don't think so.
I feel like he keeps saying Scott Rolinsky.
Well, Scott Radinsky finds himself in a 1-2 hole.
Good lead there as that one just missed up high.
Radinsky does a nice job of fouling that pitch away and staying alive. And that's strikeout number 4 on the day for Scott Radinsky. A day that he would like to forget at the plate. And that brings up Jack Brooks. Brooks entered the game and he walked in his lone plate appearance today. Came around to score as well. This was just last inning in the 7th, which felt like ages ago. He takes a strike. I knew we were cruising through 5 innings of this ball game. And then the top half of the 6th inning, top half of the 7th, and bottom half of the 7th inning were all marathon innings that have pushed this game over the 3-hour mark. Brooks is now behind in the count 1-2.
Brooks trying to keep this third base. This 9 spot, I guess, not third base, with Brooks playing second, streak of getting on base together.
As he check swing, fouls that one off.
Brooks coming in for Messino, who went 3 for 3 today. And he scored all 3 of those times. Messino definitely in the conversation for play of the game tonight.
Here's the 1-2 once again to Jack Brooks. Misses upstairs. Jack Brooks turning in another good plate appearance. We've seen him see a lot of pitches in most of his ABs so far this summer. After a 7-pitch walk back in the 7th, he's now got the count back to even at 2-2. Swings and misses for the strikeout. So after giving up the home run, able to strike out the side, we head now to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Oaks leading 11-5. We are now in the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Oaks are 6 outs away from extending their win streak to 4 games. In the way that's starting things off here in the 8th, Zach's totally up. And he skies the first pitch up on the infield. Brooks calling everybody off. He'll make the play for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
You know how I can tell that it was a tough read for Carrillo to make a play on that ball in center field? When that ball went off the bat there at first, I thought that was Scott Radinsky's ball 1,000% in right field, and all of a sudden it just froze in midair and dropped right to the infield.
Yeah, we've got a former Blues player in the booth with us who told us that at this time, this is the witching hour. Catching fly balls are so difficult because they can get caught in the lights, they can go above the lights.
And he said on their broadcast that Carrillo was going to drop it, and he was right. Well, not drop it. Carrillo didn't see it because it was a hit.
Adamson behind 2-0 to the catcher, Chase Gallegos. We've seen him do a pretty nice job behind the plate today. Hasn't gotten a hit up there, but he did reach base via walk. As Adamson misses away. Maybe the hat distracted the umpire there because that could have been a called strike on the outside corner, but ruled a ball. Four-pitch walk to Gallegos. That's going to bring up Tate Samuelson, who singled and came around to score last inning for the Blues. He's 1 for 2 today with a walk as well.
And last time Adamson was on the mound for the Oaks. We saw some stolen bases taken on his slow delivery, so we'll see what happens here now.
In a 6-run ball game, the Oaks will allow the stolen base. They won't be too upset if the runner gets there, but they'll still throw down. And that time we actually saw a quicker leg kick from Adamson, but he misses in the dirt for a ball. And that one gets inside and clips Samuelson. So the Blues are going to have 2 men on and 1 away now here in the 8th inning. It's now back-to-back innings that we've seen an Oaks reliever retire the leadoff man, but then allow back-to-back base runners. And it looks like the Oaks dugout wants the umpires to have a conversation here about whether or not Samuelson leaned into this pitch or didn't try hard enough to get out of the way. There's no question whether or not it clipped him.
They're maybe discussing the foul ball too, because this would happen to Carliner too.
Yeah, there's no question about whether or not it got his hand or not, but it looks like they're going to say it got his elbow. And they'll play on. So first and second with 1 down for the birthday boy, Cody Darcy. Also singled and scored in the last inning. Adamson just 1 pitch away from getting out of this. It was the first pitch to Darcy. That's fouled back. Strike 1 to Darcy. Darcy's reached base in 2 of his 3 plate appearances, but he's 1 for 3 on the day, having reached on an error. He takes a pitch in the dirt. Good stop from Sulak.
Yeah, Sulak's been very solid defensively since coming in for Durfee, who was very solid defensively.
We saw Durfee block a bunch of balls, hose the runner at second. Oaks catching has been good behind the plate tonight. And he pulls the string to get a swing and miss.
Nice job there by Adamson.
Adamson's got Darcy in a 1-2 hole here. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. And Darcy knew it as he started walking off the mound as soon as the umpire made the call.
And that one was definitely a strike. We've seen a couple times tonight guys have been rung up on those pitches that have been wishy-washy and consistent calls. But that one was definitely on the plate.
Yeah, when the batter knows that it's strike 3, it's definitely strike 3. And now with 2 outs and 2 on, it's going to be today's home run hitter for the Blues, KJ Kreitzman. Kreitzman takes a first pitch ball in the dirt.
Yeah, EJ Kreitzman today blasts that one to right field back in the 3rd, and then he's had some struggles defensively on what have been, as we learned, some tough plays to make with the sun setting and the lights coming on.
That one's fouled away. 1-1 now to Kreitzman. The Blues are looking for a big hit right here, looking for another bomb, honestly. Down 6 with 4 outs to go. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Charlie Adamson looking for another big strikeout to end an inning.
Consecutively put together at bats is key. 2 strikes.
And the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. And a nice little K strut from Charlie Adamson walking off the mound. We now head to the 9th inning of action, where the Oaks look to close this one out. They lead the Blues 11-5 as we head to the final 3.
The top 9, we are now, as Austin Carrillo will come to the plate, still looking for his first hit of the game, his 6th at bat of the game. He'll foul that one back.
It's a rare hitless day thus far from Austin Carrillo. Although he has contributed on the offensive end with the sacrifice fly back in the 4th, also walking and coming around to score a run in the 6th.
That one gets in there for strike 1. Won't face Carrillo, though, because, as we know, it does not matter what the count is. He's ready to hit.
Yeah, Carrillo, really good 2-strike hitter.
Dances out of the way of that one. Carrillo, as we've mentioned before in the broadcast, double-digit hit by pitches, 14 to be exact, this past spring at Cal Lutheran. With a 2-strike count that he put one off the foul pole for a home run the other day. That one misses away. 2-2 count now.
Not a very competitive 1-2 pitch there from Mastoni.
Brett Swearingen's going to be pinch hitting for Gavin Grant, due up next. As Carrillo looks at that one downstairs, work his way back from 0-2 to make it 3-2. He'll be hit. Speak of the devil.
Getting a hit on a 3-2 pitch is just the absolute worst because you're going to get your base anyway. It's a ball 4, yet you have to suffer the pain of getting hit by a pitch.
Now, luckily, that one seemed to just get the jersey. So Brett Swearingen steps in now as there's some laughs in the press boxes. They let somebody do the PA announcing, and they announced Gavin Grant, and we'll just say that the last name, the first part of Brett's last name is is fitting for what was said in the press box after they saw there was a pinch hitter. That one was for ball one. 1-1 count now to Swearingen. Swearingen, not too many at-bats this year as he's been coming in as a substitute. He's played in 4 games now, and the 3 before this, he's had 4 at-bats with the 1 base knocking those 4. Carrillo goes. Swearingen fouls that one back.
Yeah, it looked like a hit and run there between Swearingen and Carrillo, but you could tell that Swearingen was trying to shorten up and drive that ball to the 3-4 hole there on the right side, that empty gap in the infield, but he tried a little too hard to stay inside of it and fouled it back.
That one misses away, kept in front by Gallegos. Count full. Swearingen pinch hitting for Grant as a reminder. Grant had 5 ABs today where he went 2 for 5. 2 RBI double that I ruled it. Other parties may say otherwise. And then he also had the RBI single, so he was also in the conversation too for player of the game. Swearingen skies that one, the edge of the infield dirt. Settling under it over there is the shortstop, Cody Darcy, for out number 1. So bring Cody Sulak to the play for his second at-bat since coming in as a defensive replacement for Brendan Durfee in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's an RBI single in his first at-bat. He came around the 3rd and was stranded there in the 7th, so he'll step in after getting his first hit of the summer. And he'll drive that one to right center field, and that one's settled under by Kritzman, who fires back to first, but Carrillo will get back in there easily.
Yeah, I don't know why Kritzman decided to throw that ball to first base. There was really no play to get Carrillo. He wasn't that far off of the bag, but
maybe he was just trying to catch Carrillo sleeping or something. Yeah. But A.J. Salgado now steps in for his 6th at-bat of the day.
A lot on the line here in this Salgado at-bat, even though it's a 6-run ball game.
Grounded out, walked, double came around the score, 2 RBI double, single, stole back. Carrillo steals. No, he doesn't. So Salgado doesn't have his 6th at-bat as Carrillo's caught stealing. So Salgado will finish his day 3 for 4 with a walk, 2 doubles, a single, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base, and definitely in the conversation for play of the game as we go bottom 9. We'll be back, and it looks like Jack Brooks will move the short as Swearingen will go in the 2nd. So we welcome you back. The Oaks 3 outs away from extending the win streak as we'll see the 5th pitcher of the day, Andrew Lucas, come to the mound now for the Oaks is Owl. Sorry, sixth pitcher today. Forgot to write down Adamson. So sorry, Charlie. But so this will bring now Andrew Lucas in for his third appearance of the summer of what has been a very solid start this summer for him.
Yeah, for Lucas, he's throwing just about as hard, if not harder, than anybody on this Oaks roster, touching about 95 miles an hour. We saw Lucas throw the other day, and we've already seen him in 2 outings this summer where he hasn't given up a run, punched out 4 guys, only walked 1. So it's been a couple really nice outings for Lucas, and now he's on to end this for the Oaks.
So Garrett Brooks, the 9 spot, will start things off for the Blues as they got 6 runs. They got a score to tie this game with only 3 outs. Brooks 1 for 3 today. That swung on and misses. Lucas burns the heater by him. Strike 1.
Brooks looking to pick up his second hit of the day and extend and start this inning for the Blues.
Stay tuned for after the ball game, post-game show. We're going to do an intern interview, our first of the year.
Strike number 2 looked at.
We do that last season when, so Blues won last season, right? I go grab a player. But if we lost in the home game, we get an intern in here. Do an interview with them, talk about their position with the Blues, what they like about it, give our audience a chance to see the people that are, down, working in our
Lucas delivers the 2-strike pitch. That one's fouled away.
Lucas just trying with that straight heat to blow it by Brooks. And that 0-2 pitch, Brooks was able to just foul it back and stay alive.
Oh, 2 still the count to Brooks. He battled one away there. Lucas gets a sign from Sulak. He delivers. That one's rolled over to first, handled by Heineck for out number 1. And we won't talk about what just happened. Bring Jake Simons to the plate now for his 5th at bat. He was hit by a pitch on the very first pitch from Clark in the first, and he got caught stealing by Durfee to end the first. He doubled, came around to score the 3rd run of this 3rd inning, struck out swinging, struck out looking in his 2 at bats since. To make it a 1 for 3 day in his 4 plate appearances. That one kind of crossed up Sulak as it goes off the side of his glove.
Yeah, with that cross up there, lucky he didn't clip the home plate umpire. Because that would have been another potential delay here to this already long ball game.
That one's in there for strike 1 as he drops the fastball into the bottom part of the plate. That one's fouled back, heads up in the on-deck circle, Darius Price.
Good job from Lucas to get ahead of another hitter here. A 6-run ball game in the 9th inning. Trying to throw strikes. He got ahead of Brooks 0-2. Now he's ahead of Simons 1-2.
1-2 count now. That one hit him That one definitely looked like he leaned into that more than anything, as he kind of like turned his arm over the plate. I'm surprised the Oaks staff doesn't come to talk to the home plate umpire about that one. I think Sulak definitely said something to the home plate umpire, but
That one could have broken into the zone for a strike. That's how blatant it looked from Simons. It totally looked like he extended that arm almost into the strike zone on the breaking ball to get the hit by pitch.
Simon gets hit every other at bat, and then he steals second. It's hilarious.
second time Simons was plugged tonight.
But probably
This is pitch number 1. The Price is fouled away. Price tonight
nice and easy, nice and slow. If something happens.
0 for 2 in his 4 plate appearances. Struck out, RBI sac fly, flew out, and walked.
Yeah, make it happen,
That one shot. 4,
Ball game.
6, 3. Ball game over. 4 straight wins for the Tokes. The Tokes are hot, as Zach Duday said. Lucian Wetchberg will be your winning pitcher tonight, as the Oaks retook the lead, and they win once again. As a reminder, tomorrow on the road, again, 6 p.m. start at the Santa Barbara Foresters. Your play of the game is AJ Salgado. We'll have a post-game interview with Josh and AJ on Twitter and on Instagram in just a few minutes. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tokes win again.